All right, just a quick update on the PB Ace mid motor conversion, or an attempt at a conversion. Things are coming along. Got the plastic, this is a PLA gearbox halves installed. Everything's in there as it should be. Let's see. Okay. Moved the shock tower, from the front side of the rear arms to the back. That kind of had to happen. And 3D printed an upper chassis brace or deck, whatever you want to call it. Got one of my little belt pulleys made. Kind of an ugly print, but the top, I'll have one more of those up here, like so. Oopsies, no, that's down there for good. So that long belt will come up and over that pulley, and then it'll come down under this pulley, and you see that spits it out so that it'll hang out low along this chassis deck and then feed back over there to the front diff. This is just temporary. All this stuff is just temporary, really. Got a buddy making all those parts out of aluminum. But yeah, there's two little ball bearings in there. I kind of debated whether or not I should put teeth on it. I don't think it's gonna be necessary for that, but if it's making a lot of noise, maybe, the teeth side will be riding on this pulley, but the smooth backside will be on this one, so we'll see. Anything else weird? Some of the chassis flex is gone, obviously, but definitely not all of it. I'm a little concerned. If you kind of tweak on this, you can see it flexing a little bit. I don't know that that'll be better simply by going with all aluminum parts, because I think it's this lower chassis that's actually doing most of the flexing. There's not a lot of material in contact there, between the chassis and the gearbox, so who knows, that may need to be addressed or stiffened up. I think I showed some of this already, but it's kind of from the back. Let's see. I did want to point out one thing that I know I mentioned it last time, but with things set up this way, this car starts to look a whole lot like this car, right? And again, not like I'm the first to point that out, but simple single long belt between both diffs, and if I remember correctly, this long belt rides up over this central, I would call it a main pulley. And then there's two belts from that main pulley down to the no, sorry. The main belt does go over that central main pulley, but it also goes around that rear diff, I believe. You guys may want to correct me, but I think that rear diff will have all three belts around it, like this one. But anyways, I just wanted to point out that the geometry and everything will be kind of the same. I mean, they start looking a lot like the same car. you know, that shock tower's moved further back so that we're in the back of the arm, but I suppose you could come up with something like this little guy and go with a different shock tower, you know. I don't know, I mean, the point wasn't to make it, you know, copy the cat, but that's funny. But, you know, to kind of be able to use like as many of the standard parts as I could. Anyhow, Mike, hope you're watching. I think we got kicked off of eBay. I wasn't able to email you through eBay, so you might want to message me on YouTube if you can. But yeah, this thing's still in the works, and man, hopefully if my buddy comes through and machines these parts for me, you know, this weekend or next week or something. Oh yeah, and I can locate a longer belt. Now I'm starting to think that with all these kind of looking the same, this length belt, so this is a Cat XLS, I believe. With that, I ought to be able to use that same belt, hopefully. So that might be easier to source than trying to find the custom job. But anyways, yeah, I do need to get that belt measured up once I get that second pulley in place. Okay, so I won't ramble anymore. Coming along, maybe the next update will have some aluminum parts to swap in there. All right, see you next time. Take care.